Once the South Caucasus's most promising democracy, Georgia is now facing one of Europe's fastest democratic collapses. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine in one of the most brazen territorial seizures of the post-Cold War era, shocking the world with a military invasion. But now, the Kremlin appears to be winning another slice of Europe without firing a shot. This time in Georgia, using money, oligarchs and captured institutions instead of tanks. Starting in late 2024, the ruling Georgian Dream party, under the de facto control of billionaire oligarch Bidzina Ivanishvili, has rammed through foreign influence laws modelled on Russia's NGO crackdown, purged civil servants, captured the judiciary, and crippled independent media and civil society. Authorities responded with force to months of mass protests. Hundreds of peaceful demonstrators have been beaten, arrested and fined, with facial recognition and surveillance tech deployed to target dissent. While the public overwhelmingly supports EU integration, Georgia's government has instead adopted authoritarian tactics that mirror the Kremlin's playbook, prompting the EU's latest report to call Georgia's bid for membership the worst candidate performance ever recorded. The October 2024 elections saw Georgian Dream claim over 50% of the vote, but opposition parties and election monitors allege widespread fraud, from ballot stuffing and vote buying to mass voter intimidation and media suppression. International observers from OSCE and local watchdogs denounced the polls as neither free nor fair, fueling nightly anti-government protests and demands to overturn the results. The government has responded by outlawing the main opposition parties, jailing their leaders, and imposing steep fines. Despite public hostility to Moscow, 69% of Georgians see Russia as the country's main enemy. The Georgian Dream regime has made the nation increasingly reliant on Russian capital and energy. The share of oil and petroleum imports from Russia has jumped from below 10% to nearly 45–55% between 2020 and 2025. Russian remittances, tourism cash and undocumented capital inflows have triggered a real estate boom in Tbilisi and powered a 9% GDP growth in 2024, far outpacing the US and EU averages. Meanwhile, Moscow benefits from the surge in Georgian trade and the rerouting of sanctioned goods through the South Caucasus, deepening its economic leverage as Tbilisi becomes a regional outlier by facilitating flows that openly undermine Western sanctions. Ivanishvili, with an estimated net worth up to 1/3 of Georgia's GDP, is the linchpin, using Kremlin-style clientelism to maintain a small, loyal elite and sideline reformers. While Georgians overwhelmingly support EU membership, Western leverage has proven weak. The EU has condemned Georgia's repression, even threatening sanctions, but Hungarian and some other EU vetoes have blocked meaningful action. The US has restricted visas for officials, undermining democracy. Meanwhile, the Kremlin welcomes Georgia's shift, funneling illicit funds and oil, and now faces a divided, West-distrustful government on NATO's southeastern flank. As civil society is repressed, opposition crushed, and the media muzzled, many fear Georgia is sleepwalking into Moscow's grasp for the second time since the 2008 war. Analysts warn that Georgia's pivot may secure short-term immunity for the current elite, but risks irreversible long-term loss of sovereignty, democratic freedoms, and Western alignment, handing Vladimir Putin his greatest geopolitical win in the Caucasus in over a decade.